parecías un barquito de vapor.
Success.
Apparently, we had good results. That's great. I'm happy, excited.
Now the idea is that we use this same face that we just finished as a reference so that the saw guide rests on this face. Let's see how it turned out. Thank you. You can see that it's not twisted. Maybe there's a high spot there. I don't know if you can see it, but I notice a high spot right there. We're going to make a cut with the guide, and if we get that high spot again, we'll try to shave it down a bit with the chainsaw. And then we keep going down the log. Oh, what beautiful wood. Nice place. In any case, this board isn't the straightest. Ideally here, you would use maybe a metal guide, maybe aluminum. I've seen people use aluminum ladders. That way, we can start with a face that's a bit straighter, which is the reference and is important so that all our other boards end up straight. But it's minimal in any case. Now we're going to adjust the distance between the guide and the bar to get the thickness of our board. In this case, I'm going to set it to about 2.5 inches. In fact, I'm going to use this same melamine as a guide. I'm going to put it here and lower this until it reaches the stop.
Algunas marcas.
Of the chainsaw. Not so deep, but clearly it would be ideal if there were fewer marks. But in any case, no, nothing too terrible. It'll be the second board. I think we're good. This last one came out much straighter than the previous one. I don't know why. I think it might have been because it wasn't supported in the middle of the board when we used it as a guide. Maybe that affected it, but this one came out much straighter. The chain is super sharp, so it's really aggressive when it's biting into the wood. Well, it's a 10-degree chain we're using. In any case, you also have to keep in mind that this walnut wood is completely dry, which isn't ideal. When we cut it, it's always better for the wood to be green, because softer wood is much easier to cut. But, you know, that chainsaw is so powerful and so sharp. The chain actually goes super fast through these logs, plus they're not too thick. Another thing I wanted to mention, if you do this, take advantage of gravity, position yourself on a slope. I do the same with the Lucas 1000 when I'm cutting big planks. It'll be much easier for you, you won't have to push so much, and ideally, position yourself a little higher up. If you notice, I'm kind of crouched down, a bit uncomfortable, but, well, that's just being picky. But what I do recommend is to try to position yourselves on a slope so gravity helps you go down, and that way sawing will be much more pleasant. We're going to cut a slightly thinner plank. I think that one turned out a bit thick, and we'll keep going to see how it goes. This one's done. a little more vibration, maybe because it's narrower, thinner. It came out really straight. And maybe another tip would be to try to secure the log a bit better so it doesn't move so much. I think that way we could also avoid some of the chainsaw marks, but, well, you know that sawing with a chainsaw always involves a few more marks. On the wood. That's a bit inevitable, but I think it can be reduced if our log is a bit more stable and secured. Let's wrap up then. I don't know what you thought about it, but I was inspired by several models I saw on the internet. And I came up with this design, which is super simple. It cost me less than 10,000 pesos to build this sawmill. Imagine, I think there's the Alaskan 1000 and the Lugasol. I'm not sure how much they cost, but I'm sure it's over 1,000,000 pesos. $1,000, $2,000. Honestly, I don't know how much they cost. But this one took me an hour to put together and 10,000 pesos. $10, literally. So, I think if you're amateur carpenters, it's an excellent, excellent option. A powerful chainsaw. Ideally, this one is super, super powerful. I don't think a 462 or a 660 is necessary, but I think with a 360, I would even dare to say with a 250. For thinner logs, for small logs with a low diameter and soft wood. I think they could do it with pine that's 40 or 30 centimeters in diameter. I think they could do it with a 250 as well. Now, I don't think it's an option if you're planning to sell wood. Well, it's hard work and progress is slow, and the chainsaw also takes a bit of a beating. It's intense. This job really puts a lot of strain on the saw. But if you're amateur carpenters or artisans, or you want to make a piece of furniture for yourself, or maybe make some money selling a couple of logs, I think this is a good option for you. Get a chainsaw, go to the hardware store, and you'll have the milling rig ready in a day. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll keep making more videos with this sawmill. It's quite entertaining. And that's it. Take care, sending you a hug, and see you soon in the next video. Bye.